Hello farmers, it's always beautiful to be with us. Thank you for tuning into our channel. At the Eco Farms and Agro Services Company, we are always excited to bring in contents that are designed to help you overcome common challenges you may be facing in your farm. These contents are designed to help you overcome these challenges. They are real-time, hands-on experience. We encourage you to please share our contents with farmers who you may know will need these contents. Please don't also forget to like. Share your concerns also in our comment section so that we can tailor contents that will meet your specific need. Thank you for tuning in and take care. Hello everyone again, this is the Eco Farms and Agro Services Company. It's always good to be with us. I'd like to take this time to thank everyone who has been following what we've been doing, sharing the contents we've been generating, and people who have had time to also drop in their comments. These are the only ways we can continue to provide the right information that you may be looking for. So we encourage you to keep such information coming. We're doing a new series. This series is an interesting one because it's on maize, one of our major staple crops in Nigeria. Not just unique to Nigeria, but sub-Saharan Africa and globally. Maize is one of our key staple crops. Out of every 10 homes in Nigeria, nearly 7.5 families eat maize or maize-related products, if not more than that, on a daily basis. But one of the greatest challenges that Nigeria has been plagued with is our maize yields per hectare. This cuts across a number of other crops, not just maize, rice, major staple crops, rice, vegetables like tomatoes. We are the largest consumer of some of these products, like tomatoes, maize, but our yield per hectare is terribly less. An average of about 2.5 to 3 tons per hectare. When you compare this with other countries like South Africa, where they are hitting nearly 5 to 6 to 8 tons per hectare. So this video series is designed to help we farmers to find out what are we doing that we're not doing properly, what are we doing right that we can adjust, and what are other nations are doing that we can learn from. As an organization at the Eco Farms, we have in practice been able to achieve an average of 4 to 5 tons per hectare using some key maize varieties, some good agronomic practice. And these informations, of course, pre and post harvest management, these informations is what we are working with you through this series to learn. So we encourage you to stay tuned. And so we start. What's one of the first things that we get wrong as farmers when we're looking to start our maize field? It's the right seeds to select from. This is way beyond even selecting the right seeds. This is importantly the right maize varieties to select. This is beyond setting up the field preparations, the right inputs to use. As a farmer, you need to ask yourself, what seeds will give me the right yields that I'm looking for? What seeds are good for my environment, for my agroecological zone? While there may be a lot of seed varieties out there, marketers are competing to make sales. As a farmer, you need to go back and do your proper due diligence to identify the right seed varieties that are good for your climatic environment. With the growing weather anomalies, erratic changes in rain patterns, what are the right seeds that are climate resilient, that can take a climate smart decision to manage. And so we'll talk and look into some of these topics. When it comes to seeds, what we have found in practice is that while there may be a number of high breed seed varieties out there from different companies, be them Seedco, be them the famous Stila maize we love here in Nigeria, be them Prime Seeds, be them the DK series from Bayer, a number of seeds we have, local and foreign seed companies coming. What we've learned in practice is that every seed has the potential, has the opportunity to give you yields. What farmers get wrong are 2 or 3 things: the right environment for these seeds, the right agronomic management to manage each seed, and to ensure that the seeds they are buying are from the right source, because we have a lot of counterfeits in the market. It's no news within our environment that when a seed company is performing well in its quality and in demand, we have scrupulous people who go out there, pick these seeds, counterfeit them, and then they sell them to farmers. So it's your responsibility as a farmer to ensure that the source of your seed is from the right place. Ensure you buy seeds from an authentic source, from an approved retailer or distributor. This is not very hard. Every seed company have retailed and approved dealers they work with across the local governments, across the local communities where you're farming. It won't cost you anything to ensure that your seed is authentic. And by the time you've done that due diligence to ensure you have an authentic seed, the next key thing you need to do is another important due diligence, which is to ensure that the seed you've bought is of good quality. It's disheartening to mention that some of the brands of seeds we have in the country, either through counterfeit or through their own carelessness in-house, they are not careful to sort through their seeds. And so when farmers buy seeds, it's common experience that they have a very low germination rate. And so it's important that after you buy your seeds, what we do in-house is after buying these seeds, we take time to go through these seeds. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. To ensure that we sort through these seeds, identify broken seeds that won't be viable, identify seeds that are completely dead that won't be viable. In other words, do some in-house viability test. Do some trial plantings to see the vigor and the quality and the germination rates of these seeds. And then we're able to go to rest knowing that when we plant these seeds, they will give us the results we're looking for. So just to refresh us, you don't just go buy any seed. Take time to reflect and do some research to identify that this seed is of the best quality. Take time to sort through these seeds. You'll be shocked to find up to 5 to nearly 10% of some of these seeds, when you sort through them, a lot of them are not very viable. And by the time you eliminate them, it saves you the stress of having to go and plant, and then your seeds are not germinating properly, and then you are replanting, losing time, losing resources that you do not have. And so the third key thing you need to look into as a farmer is to do your proper research to identify seed varieties that are best for your environment. The rain patterns are very erratic these days. We've observed an anomaly. Sometimes rains in Nigeria, of course, it's not a blanket rain pattern. And NIMET gives us a lot of information. We have in-house apps we use, in-house infrastructure we use to monitor weather. But what we've learned is that these weather patterns are not same. For example, you can have one rain pattern for the entire Plateau State. You have different regions having different rain patterns. So Jos Central, for example, can have an early rain from early April to late April to early May. And then some other regions like Langtan South can have rains from mid-May or late May to early June. And so as a farmer, it's important that you understand your rain patterns. And it's a lot of information that will either make your yields great or tarnish your yield potentials, because you can plant and then the rains we cease. One of the things we've learned right now is that between the periods of June and July, it is to be August break, but we're having experiences where the break comes earlier. And so farmers who don't plant early in their regions where they are supposed to have planted earlier, they experience a drought, a mid-drought break, where the maize have not properly established, and then they begin to dry off, because we know we do not have infrastructure for proper irrigation in Nigeria. So it's important that as a farmer, you take time to identify the rain patterns, do your research beyond what NIMET is providing you, do your in-house finding, study certain rain patterns for the past 2-3 years within your region, and understand that whether you need to decide to go for an early maturing maize, which is a climate smart decision, or a late maturing maize. Of course, the economic factors are there. You want to look at the maize variety that the market has a huge demand for. But importantly, your decision about the variety of maize to go for shouldn't just be market driven, but should also be climate driven. If anomalies in rain patterns are going to be progressive, as a smart farmer who needs to make a clear decision, you need to go for varieties that are drought resistant. You need to go for varieties that mature early, so that if there is a break by August or late July, your plants have nearly established and are already maturing in their cobs before the drought sets in. So these are some key things that we recommend to Nigerian farmers to reflect on, to implement when they are looking to cultivate their maize. This is one of the topics. Stay tuned as we stay on the next series. See you.